Truth.
That
Truth
is
nuke.
true. That is true.
You know what should also be true? Getting a Taki sponsorship. Jake, hit him with. No, I'm kidding. Oh my God.
Circling Seattle Sports is not sponsored by the Takis Corporation, but we could be.
Who's
That's
to say?
the crunch was great. Welcome back to Mariner Mondays. We're at full health again. Brittany's stint on the IL is done. She's done rehabbing. Um, you know, didn't get the velo up too high, but we're gonna ride with it and hope it's good.
Yeah.
Hope the
Yeah, how was
cortisone
your
shot
outing?
did its job. We don't talk about the outing. She hit 3 batters. So
I'm sure they deserved
um
it.
much honestly with Brittany, yeah, if she did that, yeah. Anyway, we're back. What a what a best week in Mariners baseball. Jesus Christ. Jake and I went over that weird White Sox Astros last part of that road trip. The Mariners got back and started a 3 series homestand with an off day on Monday, and they'll have an off day today when you're seeing this. Um,
Monday off days are bad.
it's just it feels wrong, you know.
Agreed.
It feels wrong.
Mhm.
Um, Much like most of the national series felt wrong for the Mariners.
Oh,
They won the first game 9-1. Cal Raleigh continued to be the second coming of whatever god that you choose to follow. Um, and and they thumped a Nationals team that's been under 500 and doesn't look the greatest. I mean, Julio homered to begin the bottom of the first, and Cal homered right after that. And I said, okay, we're gonna be all right. James Wood homered in the fourth, and things were kind of close actually, going deeper into this game before Cal Raleigh's second homer kind of got things started. In the fifth, the next inning they score 3 runs. They pull away with 2 more runs in the eighth. It was good, nice, solid. Logan Evans in this game,
oh,
beautiful, beautiful work from Logan Evans. 8 innings pitched. Just the 1 run allowed, 1 walk, 4 Ks. I mean, his K numbers aren't there, but I don't really care. Um, 8 innings of work from the kid. I mean, hard to disagree. And he only threw 88 pitches. So, I mean, there was a lot of argument for him to go out for the ninth. Um, the next 2 games, Jesus, the Mariners give up 9 runs in each of the next 2 games. They get skunked in the middle game of the series. They lose 9-0. George Kirby, his second outing since coming back, not good, not good. Yeah, only 5 innings, gave up 6 runs on 7 hits, 2 walks for George, which weird, and 3 homers. Dan Wilson the next day kind of said, "Hey," he was asked about it, let's say. And I will give Dan credit. I've given him shit on a few of the shows we've done here, right? He's getting a little better with the whole quote thing. It's nice, We're tracking this improvement.
Boring ass Dan
Um,
Wilson?
huh?
Boring ass Dan Wilson gave good quotes? That's
He's
crazy.
getting. I'm not saying good. I'm saying he's getting better.
that's all we look for is improvement, man.
That's right.
Improvement. Yeah.
1% better, right?
Like Jackson Kowar coming back and showing some value, actually. Isn't that kind of crazy? We'll
A
get to
little
that.
bit.
Um, Kirby gave up 3 homers in this one, and it's not like the Mariners offense did him any justice to get him, anything. They only got 5 hits against the Nationals. Trevor Williams decided to put them in a body bag. Um, and I think I remember the Root broadcast showed before the game that Trevor Williams had a 7.66 ERA in the 5 starts before he faced the Mariners that day. So good. And then the Nationals won the series the next day on Thursday by a final score of 9-3. So the Nationals really did not like that they lost by a score of 9-1 in the first game. The chances were there for the Mariners in this one. I mean, this game went into extra innings at 2. They had a few chances late against Mackenzie Gore. Gore got
Mm-hmm.
out of them. Um, and then a 7-run 10th inning. Yes, 7-run 10th inning. Really like slapped anybody in the building in the face, really hard. It's one of those slaps that stings really hard. Yeah, it was bad, man.
It was Snyder, too.
Colin Snyder, who has been, well, at least last year was largely reliable. This year, he only got it through a third of the inning. Gave up 7 runs. 5 of them earned. Sorry, so 2 of them unearned. 4 hits and a walk. So kind of all over. And so I didn't really feel great going into this Twin series. I mean, Minnesota, what one of the hotter teams in baseball of recent, right? And that kind of continued in the series opener on Friday, right? Um, go into extra innings again. They were in extra innings and late game hell as of recently. Go into extras, tied at 6. Um, oh, that's right. This was this game. Sorry, I was at the Storm game
How
when
did
this
they
happened.
get tied at 6?
Andres Munoz, who has been, also another second coming of a god, comes into the game in the ninth. You think, okay, he's got a 6-3 lead. I think, okay, this is fine. This is perfectly fine. They're gonna come out and they're gonna handle this. And they had gotten that 3-run advantage on a 2-run homer by Cal Raleigh. Again, second coming. Willie Castro homers, makes it a 1-run game. I think, okay, Mooney's, that's fine. It's a hiccup. Trevor Larnach singles to score Byron Buxton, who I honestly forgot was healthy again. Good for Byron Buxton.
Healthy
Yeah, we
and
go.
fast. Good Lord.
Yeah, we go to the bottom of the ninth. Big old fat nothing from the Mariners offense. Um, when they bring in Casey Legomina.
Bean
Casey
Man.
Legomina gives up. He does get through the inning,
Yeah.
but he gives up 6 runs, 5 of them earned, on 4 hits, 2 walks, on 1 homer. Byron Buxton. No, wait. Correa homered to make it a 2-run game. Byron Buxton singled to make it a 4-run game, and Trevor Larnach doubled to make it a 6-run game. So big slap in the face to begin the series. They won a tight one on Saturday, 5-4 to even things up, and send it to a rubber match. Is Cole Young, who got called up, and we'll talk about that obviously. Hit a walk off, I believe. Did it get ruled as a hit, or is it listed as a
Fielder's
fielder's choice?
choice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
fielder's
There
choice.
was some debate about that after the game, and I'm like, I don't care. They won the game. Um, yeah, this one, another one. The Twins get a Trevor Larnach single in the ninth inning to score Byron Buxton, who, as Brittany mentioned, very fast. Um, and it sends us. Had to go to the 11th inning. Um, who did they have throw the ninth? Oh, that was the Vargas play. That's right. Because this ball came back to Carlos Vargas, who also largely serviceable throughout the course of the year. They had to use him a lot early on, if you remember. He fielded it. He surely fielded it, and then he threw a piss missile out into right field, and Byron Buxton went to third base very quickly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So,
That's the second time Vargas has done that this year too.
do you remember the other one? I do.
I was tr- I was trying to remember, but there for sure was one other, and that's too many.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's like, hey, I'd rather just have you like let the fucking
Eat
your
it.
infield play it, yeah, and just
Yeah,
have
just
him
eat it,
hit first
man.
base. Yeah, and then Colin Snyder came out and threw 2 innings,
Kudos to him, man.
and yeah,
That's
he got
that's a
through
great
him.
bounce back. Yeah.
He got through him. Cole Young, um, oh, that's right, Cole Young, gets the walk off the next day in the rubber match. Today, we record these on Sundays typically. Um, in 1-1 game. Hey, Luis Castillo threw 6 shutout innings, which is
Did.
not what I expected from Luis Castillo. If you'll remember, the last time Luis Castillo pitched at T-Mobile Park against the Twins, he had to hit, and by hit I mean stand awkwardly in the batter's box and not swing the bat. Um, yeah, Cal Raleigh hit a solo shot to right field in the 7th inning, and I looked down to Brad Adam, and we both just kind of looked at each other like, how the hell is this guy a real person? Um, as many of us think when we look at Cal Raleigh, right? Well, whatever part we're looking at. Who said that? Um, then in the 8th inning, uh, wait, no, sorry, it was the 9th inning. I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Wow.
Hey, man, there's a lot going on. The 9th inning. Oh, that's right. This was not great. Andres, back-to-back struggle outings from Andres. Um, he walked Cody Clemens, and then Ty France. You remember that guy? Ty France singled. They threw in a pinch runner for Ty France. Why would they do that? Um, but Mooney had some control issues. Wild pitch allowed both runners to move up, and so Harrison Bader's sac fly allows Cody Clemens to score. We go into the bottom of the ninth. Thankfully, there's no fucking extra innings. And oh yeah, Julio drew a walk. Julio drew a walk. Stole second. Wild throw allows him to move to third. Randy singles. They take the series. Before we get into talks about individual things, and so I can shut the hell up. General thoughts on the last two series because it's you know you suck absolute shit through two games of the national series and you need walk-offs um to win the Twin Series, and all three of them go down to late game situations. Brittany, since we are welcoming you back off the IL, we'll have you go first, and then the Talkies man will follow up.
God, it's so stressful. I was like miserable for most of the last 5 days watching Mariners baseball. Part of me wants to be like, hey, that's baseball, man, right? Like that happens throughout a season and it all evens out eventually. And sometimes it does. And then most of the time, if you're the Mariners, it doesn't. And losing a series to the freaking Nationals comes back to bite you. So I am extremely grateful that they won the series against the Twins. Otherwise, my tune probably was going to be a little different. I understand you lose series to bad teams. Sometimes it happens. But after losing 3 of 4 to Houston, that was just you needed to turn it around and play better, play different. And relievers are going to get hit. Like Munoz was going to give up a run at some point. It was going to happen. Um, but to lose and give up runs in stupid ways, like throwing the ball into right field or pass balls, wild pitches, giving up extra bases when you can't afford to give up extra bases. If Cal Raleigh is your only dude hitting, you can't afford to give up extra bases. So that's where I'm just really frustrated. Like they need to tighten it up. They need to tighten it up. They need to play cleaner baseball if they are going to ride Cal only. Would be great if Polanco either went on the IL or figured it out. I don't know which we have to do. It'd be great if you got, and Julio's been fine in the month of May. JP was decent, but that was kind of it. That was okay in the month of May. Like you need more from the rest of your team. And if you're not going to get more, then you can't be throwing the ball into right field. And I'm really tired of seeing that stuff. So, good to see Colin Snyder bounce back. I think that's such a underrated thing that we don't really talk about is how hard that is as a relief pitcher. Like you completely just shit the bed in the worst possible way 2 nights ago, and you bounced back for 2 innings, 2 full innings when your team really needed you badly because you had no one else. I mean, who'd they have left? Casey Lawrence left in the pen?
Yeah, just Casey Lawrence. He was
I
warming
think
up
that was
too.
it.
Yeah,
So shout
well,
out to him. I think that's great. I know we are 2 months away from the trade deadline, but God, I would overpay for a reliever right about now.
uh, really
That is
quick.
where I have ended this week of hell in Mariners baseball land is dear God, please go get another relief arm.
Yeah. Really quick, I'm gonna interrupt before Geeseman speaks. Yes, as he furrows his brows. Um, a lot of people are like, why are they bringing Snyder back? I don't like it either. But yeah, it was Casey Lawrence who had just been brought back. He's back again, which is fascinating. I had just been talking to Taryn with On Sports Illustrated. I was like, hey, so where is he? They called him up like literally 10 minutes later because I went down to the clubhouse and I saw 41 Lawrence. I said, huh, look at that.
He be
It was
back.
him
He's
who
a boomerang.
I had to use my binoculars and look out into the bullpen. It was Casey Lawrence warming up. Munoz was down because I think he pitched back-to-back nights, and they weren't going to have Brash pitch a third night in a row coming off of Tommy John. People were like, oh, it was just one out. I don't care. Like the last thing you want to do is break the guy after you just got him back, and he's still been discussing. He made Willie Castro turn into a top in his outing today. Crap. Sorry. So I wanted to explain that. Anyway,
Yep.
hockey's
Yep.
man.
I mean, I think, yeah, I'm aligned with Brittany. It's been a tough month of May, mostly because of like just the division race in general and how close it's been, and just a lot of flashbacks to last year and that 10 game lead which they had on my birthday on June 18th last year.
Oh,
Um, and then it was all downhill from there.
Bastards.
Um, yeah, like you said, I don't think they've been playing like too abysmally recently. Especially, I think the national series where they just got well, no, okay, the game where they got shut out completely. That was nasty.
that was
But the
pretty bad.
Thursday game wasn't that bad. I mean, it was a pitcher's duel for a lot of it, um, and they had some really frustrating opportunities in the seventh and the eighth to take the lead, which would have won the game. And it's like I'm frustrated that they didn't achieve that, but they made that opportunity for themselves. And you've been seeing that a lot recently, where they've been like manufacturing runs in the way that they haven't been able to do in the last couple of years. A lot of stolen bases, taking the extra base on a single, or tagging out from second to third, and like finding a way to score that extra run in a really scrappy style of baseball that we haven't seen out of the Mariners very much in the past couple of years. I have been saying for a while that I want them to play Royals ball, and that I want them to
Mm.
be just an extremely annoying, pesky team that will turn like three fielders' choices into 2 runs somehow by magic. The way the Royals always seem to do to us in the ninth inning
Ugh.
at Kauffman. That's an evil stadium, frankly. And
Unless
we've
you're
been seeing,
Ty France.
unless you're Ty France, and we've been seeing a little bit more out of that from them recently, which I'm happy about. What scares me is just the way the bullpen is being taxed. Um,
Yeah.
just like in these last 4 games, right? Munoz has pitched 3 times. Um, he went back to back Thursday, Friday, and Friday was when he gave up his first runs, and he pitched again today and gave up another run. I I know that like having like Vargas, Brash, Munoz feels great, right? That's a great 7-8-9-1-2-3 punch. But you can't do that every time. I mean,
Nope.
you got to give Munoz a break. Sometimes, Brash has to be your closer. Sometimes Vargas has to be your closer. And I feel like Dan Wilson's getting to a little bit of old head
Yeah.
where closer's the guy that comes in the ninth. Um, when the Mariners have typically in the last few years been, okay, top of the order, best guy. It's and we talk about bullpen decisions every time here, and I'm trying not to because I know gets annoying for people. But it's like I get it's the most obvious thing I can see that every time it happens, it's like why are we doing this? Because it's such an obvious inflection point in a game, I should say.
Mm.
It's tough, and it's hard to get mad at the hitting right now because it's not been consistent, but it's been streaky, and it's been like favorably streaky.
Mm.
I'm It's hard to get too upset about them when they started the year so hot offensively.
Yeah.
And you just kind of hope that they'll get it together, knock it off, get serious. Um, Go Mariners. I don't know. Oh yeah, they're playing
Knock it
Baltimore.
off. It's serious.
Knock it off, get serious.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I mean, like so often I feel like, right, since Kendall Graveman, since Paul Sewald, the closer, the relief questions have been plenty with the Seattle Mariners baseball club, right? Like, and so often, yeah, I mean, I think Scott said it on a number of occasions. He said, "Hey, we don't have a set closer. Yeah." They did not like to give that designation. Sometimes it happened naturally, right? Where a guy basically just came out. I don't know why he became Canadian there. Not brash. Uh,
Oh, he came out of the bullpen. He pitched a good inning.
well, for
He did
sure,
pretty
he
good.
had the maple syrup sticky
Oh, you
stuff.
betcha.
He Timbits in his back pocket. Um, yeah. So no, I mean that is fascinating. I mean, I guess that brings the question up. Are you concerned with the two Munoz outings? Is it like a usage thing, or like do you have literal like founded concern with Andres?
Oh, it's a usage thing. I don't think he's gonna kill him. I don't think he's gonna die and become bad. Um, he was always gonna give up some runs eventually,
Yeah,
right? It just sucks that it happened the way it did. And I think that is because we are going to exploderize his arm on purpose, which is a shame.
I think it's worth noting that Munoz has commented now a couple times on, I think to Adam Jude, that he feels a comfort knowing when he's coming in.
yeah,
So
Mm.
yeah.
I hear you. Like, I feel like it's a waste to trot him out against 7, 8, 9. And like, damn, wish he would have been out there for 3, 4, 5. I totally feel that. And then also I want to also hold into account the fact that like these guys might really like how this is going and they might
Yeah.
really appreciate knowing where they're coming in into the ball game. Do I necessarily agree with it and think that that's how it should be ran?
Yeah,
No, but maybe that holds some value and I just think it's worth noting.
Yeah, for sure. I've been in a few of
that's
those
fair
scrums
enough.
where Munoz says that, and I'm just like, interesting. I wouldn't have thought you'd think that, but yeah, no, for sure. We can talk more concerns about pitching, guys.
They need
It,
another bullpen arm. Like they just do. At
Hmm.
least one.
yeah. Well, and that's I. Oh, that's right. That's a good question because, good mention because he Hollander mentioned a few guys who are dealing with injuries. I know he's an idea, he's a thought. Gregory Santos
No,
is
man.
tracking well from his
No,
recovery.
man.
They don't expect him till July. Um, he will, we'll see if they'll need him.
Maybe it's
Um,
just because I'm spoiled, but I do feel like they can go out and just find somebody and he'll be great for a month, right? That's what they do. I'm spoiled maybe for
I'm
thinking that that's
spoiled.
just like the norm. I'm spoiled and greedy fan, but it's like I believe in Pete Woodworth.
Yeah.
Sure. I
Uh,
mean,
you give him somebody washed up and has a funky arm angle, and he'll give
huh,
you, you know, a great setup guy.
get ready to learn new arm angle, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The Marlins have a couple guys in their bullpen that, like, the Marlins don't have a terrible bullpen. In the month of May, they were right there with the Mariners in terms of F4. Anthony Bender's 30 years old. He's on a $1.42 million contract 1 year. Like, I'm sure Pete Woodworth would love, what is he, 1.52 ERA? Like,
Yeah, give him the Pete.
go call the Pirates. Like call any of those guys that are for sure sellers.
hey,
And I honestly at this point overpay for a reliever. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's so bad, man.
um,
Remember when Trent Thornton
yeah.
was good?
Oh well, Trent Thornton. Yeah, Trent Thornton should be throwing a rehab assignment pretty soon. Taylor Saucedo also. He had. So I think Sauce also had an oblique. I could look at it. We posted the fucking thing about it. But
Okay,
they
but
also
do you
don't
hear
expect
what you're
him back
saying
until June.
though? You're saying Taylor Saucedo and Trent Thornton. Like
I know.
those are great fifth, sixth innings when you need it. You need another dude.
You
Like you
do
need
need
a
the dude.
solid, reliable
Yeah,
dude.
You
I
need
was
a
also
guy.
just
Wait, no, hold on.
mentioning
Yeah,
relievers.
I know.
Salcedo and Thornton are guys. You need a dude.
You
Need
need
a
a dude.
dude
What's better
metric
than this?
through the
Guys
roof.
being
This
dudes.
guy is dude metric. I mean, at what point does Jackson Kowar become that?
Mhm.
Does
It's a
Jackson
good
Kowar have
question.
that dog in him?
It's a good
Huh?
question. It's
I don't know about
possible.
dog, but he talks a lot. Like he talks. He's a
It's
yapper.
a very easy 98, 99. Like that ball just jumps out of his hand.
Oh, I was talking about how much he speaks. Like
No,
he
no, no. I know what you're talking about.
but yeah, no. So no, yeah, that's undeniable. I mean, I feel like even coming into the season, we knew that, right? In terms of bullpen help. Uh Two arms that I was gonna talk about with like injury concern.
Hmm.
Where are you guys at with Bryce Miller? Because I think no, we asked him. I think I asked Dan about what he saw from Bryce. I asked what he wanted to see from him pregame, and he didn't give. He kind of gave me a nothing burger of an answer. Um, and then Dan liked what they got because they only got 4 innings. Yes, 4 innings. He had the rough second. He gave up 3 runs. That's right. Um, oh yeah, well, and then he looked fine outside of that. I mean, I think he had two strikeouts in the first. Bryce said he felt fine. He felt like himself again, which like so much of the speak that he had before he went on the IL was that it didn't feel right. Like he was just trying to play through it. And he added a great quote actually during his post game availability about how he just wanted to keep doing it because he wanted to keep going out there because Kirby was hurt, because Gilbert were like
Yeah.
Hmm.
that's a whole other discussion about guys playing through injury. But I mean, that is a guy fighting for his team, playing through injury because he knows that he kind of has to.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. There was some concern online about him. I saw some folks said, "Hey, you just got to IL him. You just have to go out there and because oh, that's right. Um, there was a report. I think Jude or Kramer, one of them went down. I think both of them went down to Houston, and Bryce said he was dealing with a bone spur. Okay, Hollander confirmed that when we heard from him at the beginning of the homestand. He said there's a small bone spur behind his elbow, but they weren't concerned about that. They said it was more the inflammation and they felt that they had gotten that under control. So he didn't sound concerned about the Spur going forward. Oh yeah, Jake, we talked about this. We talked
Yeah,
about because he said it
it.
was something that isn't going to get better on its own. Um, and he would, if he got surgery for it, it would take him out for the season.
Mhm.
So
But it's something that's like you said it's to remove it, so I was like, that's a bone spur. And
yes,
I think
well, and
he's
he
kind of forced
confirmed.
their hand, and yeah, and they've confirmed that it's a bone spur.
So I don't know. He seemed fine, especially for oh, that was one of the answers Dan had. It was the day after the Kirby outing was that he's like, "Oh, well, we should expect that guys should, not look themselves, in the first few outings after it." Specifically, this was about Kirby, but then someone kind of chipped in and was like, "Oh, do you mean this just generally as well?" And he said, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Sure, that makes sense." Um, I don't know. Any thoughts on Bryce? Because I'm like, hey, Bryce was pretty candid this year, early in the season about I don't feel right. This doesn't feel good. I don't
Yeah,
feel good. And so I'm wondering, because you don't obviously can't take things at face value all the time, but for him to say he feels good, to feel like himself, the Bryce isn't let it rip. Like, sure,
hmm
and I feel like I hope that would come back over time. Also, if that's not true and you need him to just go get fucking fixed,
Yeah.
Logan Evans looked like he was doing pretty good.
Yeah. I
So
say you give him, a couple more starts, assuming he doesn't implode. If he can't get that velo back, though, I think I mean, that's his bread and butter, right?
yeah,
96, 97 on a good, really good day, 98 at the top rail. And that
hmm
is what all of his other pitches play off of his ability to throw that four seam.
yeah.
And watching that four seam come in at 92 miles an hour is terrifying. And it's not going to be sustainable. And so I hope he can get it back. He can work through it, keep the inflammation down. But if he can't get that four seam back at the velocity it needs to be at, I think you call it, you have him get the surgery, and you hope he's back early next year.
hmm Yeah, he's got to just like throw it right down Main Street, and they can't hit it, and that's his thing. And if they can hit it, that's bad.
This is bad. It doesn't work. The formula doesn't work.
Yeah, it's scary. Um, yeah, and like you said, I do want them to like short leash him, but for the season, on like a strategic level instead of short leasing on the tactical level. And it sucks because I love Miller. It's Miller time, yeah. But man,
Yeah.
that boy ain't right.
so it's hey, watch this trend, see if this is something like see if there's an improvement, and if we don't get any better and or get worse, it's time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
How I
that
feel,
checks out.
yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, that's the reality of the situation.
because he has to do better than this.
Yeah, 4 innings is not
Four
gonna
innings
work
is not
with
going
your
to cut it.
bullpen. It's
And
not.
especially since that's what's already happened, and not for guys who have been injured early in the season outside of Brian Wu.
Hmm.
Um,
Real.
so yeah, well, so that's perfect because Logan Gilbert, actually, sorry. Let me get the injury guys right. Um, either of you able to keep any tabs on the Tacoma game? I had it up. Um, in that one, it's funny actually that Logan Gilbert, in that start in his rehab assignment with the Rainiers in that first one, he will at least need a second one. But he was saying he felt good when
Yeah.
Jude and Kramer talked to him in Houston. But you know, I think Hollander confirmed he's like, yeah, he'll at least need a second one. Um, so I had to make sure this pen wasn't on, so I didn't start scribbling on my head. Uh, the same game that was Logan's rehab assignment, Cole Young walked it off, which I thought was very funny. He was lifted the next day, so he could make his debut on Saturday. I just thought it was interesting. I think he got up to only 45 pitches or so. He said he felt good afterwards. Everything he told Sergio, because I didn't go down to Tacoma. I'm not worried about the Rainiers. Like I watched it on my second monitor from the Mariners press box.
They're out there. They're
Um,
hanging out.
yeah, I'm like, hey, that I also know the Shaney Stadium is tiny. Like I was
I
there
think
for rain games a few years
I
ago.
think you gotta go down there.
Oh, for other reasons, yeah. Um, God damn it, Brittany. Uh, oh yes, I want to get the exact numbers, but I don't know. Just
1.2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, one was a
oh
hit batter, 3 Ks. Fastball
oh
is 95 to 96.
Ugh.
okay, maybe it's not as bad as I thought initially, but the two walks and the hit by pitch weren't great. I think
No.
that's what kind of concerned me. Yeah, 45 pitches, 24 strikes. Um, given that he didn't he said he felt great afterwards. Any thoughts on Logan here? Because I know also that is like not super awesome either.
I'm not taking too much from the first rehab outing. I
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
be very interested in the second rehab outing. That I think is going to tell you a lot more information than the first one after he hadn't thrown for however long it was.
It's interesting, especially because they were talking about getting him back by the end of the month, which has now come and gone. Um,
The end of May?
the end of that's what they were saying
Oh, I missed that.
a little
Wait,
while ago. A couple weeks ago, they said about getting George back mid-May and Logan back at the end of May.
Oh, that
that
sounds like
tracks,
a
I
pipe
think, for
dream.
what Hollander said. Let me
Yeah,
double check, but yeah, go ahead.
Hmm.
and that's now come and gone, and he's had a little bit of a rocky start. So I'm wondering what's going on behind the scenes, but of course we're all wondering that.
Huh.
Um, I'm not alarmed, but
Mm,
I'm intrigued, perplexed even perhaps. But I'm
you're
not
not wee wooing.
Observing?
observing. I'm observing. I'm not quite noticing. I'm certainly not discombobulated.
You're not hashtag noticing.
I'm not hashtag noticing.
That's lame.
But I'm keeping an eye on it. Keep your eyes peeled for the Flying Dutchman.
You're so terrible, Jake. Jesus Christ.
I'm the best.
It's a Pirates of the Caribbean pod. That's how we started this.
It sure is.
Is
Shout out, shout out to Barbosa.
oh my god.
This is
Your
like the third time
doppelganger.
Pirates of the Caribbean has come up today in my life, and I've only brought it up once. So,
Fastball topped out at 96.8.
hmm,
I felt fine. My arm feels pretty good, solid. Kind of feels like spring training. Sure, arm felt good. I was letting it rip. Yeah, let's let it rip, dude. Ah.
Beyblade, let it rip. That's good to
Oh,
hear, though.
fucking.
Just let it
I thought
rip.
it was so awesome that Justin Novak was at T-Mobile Park, drove down to help Logan Gilbert in Tacoma, and
Yep.
then drove back to Seattle.
That's why
What a
he's the
dude.
goat.
What
He's
a
a
dude.
dude. He's the goat. I love
What an
Justin Novak.
absolute dude, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. So he'll at least make one more rehab start with Tacoma, and he's expect to pitch on a 6-day routine for the foreseeable future. That would put him in line for Wednesday. Hoping to get him up to 60 pitches, maybe 75. Um, mm, 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 mm. I think after one more, I should be feeling ready to go. Okay, Logan, let's calm down.
Hmm.
Like,
I hope so.
Yeah, well, it's interesting with the 6 day like trek that they've had a lot of the starters on because Hollander was asked about a six man. Like, would you go to a six man? And he basically said, no. Because he said pitchers are fussy. They don't like changing their routines. And I'm like, sure, like that makes sense. Like they also might not have a fucking opinion on the matter with how broken you guys are.
Mm,
Well,
You
that's
know,
the thing. They don't like change, but what would they like an extra rest day? Maybe let's reframe this for
yeah.
them.
yeah,
Pitchers are such princesses, man.
they
Like sometimes you
are.
just gotta package the idea better for them.
I'm sorry. When I hear princess and I hear pictures and I think about George Kirby, it's just a funny image. It's not much of a princess there.
They won't even let you
Um,
look at him on
I would
Starbucks.
argue George Kirby is the princessy of them all.
He really
I would use
is.
the word sassy.
He's a little
Um,
Careful
baby.
with that one.
God. Uh,
He's just
you
a
talk
little
about talking to
guy.
starters on start days. Poor, I'll never forget. I think I mentioned this. Poor Logan Evans wanted to talk to everybody, but on the start they were all supposed to like shun him. I'm like, well, buddy, like go be a golden retriever somewhere else.
Are
Um,
are you allowed to look at him if he talks to you?
if he speaks to you, then it's fair game. But I can't
Okay.
go up to his locker. Hey, yo, like,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
um, actually, that brings me up to another good point. Logan Evans gets sent down, right? When they brought back, uh, no, for Kowar, that's right.
Yeah.
Because Hollander actually a few days before was basically like, it's a matter of time before we activate him. I'm like, fascinating. And then they did it in quick succession. I understand why they did because Bryce was going to start, but I don't know. And there was some terminology I saw the other day that was like, oh, he did okay. I'm like, I think considering the situation, he did pretty good. Like, especially considering how he improved and got to that 8 inning game.
Mhm.
Logan Evan, and with the tools he's got, he's not a power guy, right?
You
I
know
don't
what the
know.
vibes he gives is pure. He's like righty Marco Gonzalez. Jake is not feeling that comp at all.
Mm,
He's trying
But
to like sit with
that's
it.
the potential he has is
yeah.
to go out there and eat innings for you and give up a lot of contact. Like that's the kind of potential he has.
You know, I just kind of miss Marco. I liked him.
You need a bulldog.
I need
Well, he
he's
is a free agent.
he had that
Stop.
dog. Put him in the
Stop.
pen. Put him in the pen.
Put the dog down.
What I said. That's what I said. I
Nope.
got a
Leave
lot of
him at
heat
the
for that.
shelter.
And
Leave
I
him
was
at the
mostly
shelter.
joking, but people took me very seriously.
Well,
That's your
some guy
mistake
got
for thinking that people would ever be able to tell jokes.
But who would you rather have, Marco Gonzalez or Casey Lawrence?
Oh, Marco, give me Marco. Bring me Marco for
I
sure.
don't know. I'm just
I
throwing hypotheticals at the wall, see what sticks.
imagine being Casey Lawrence right now. By the way, he's up, he's
Yeah.
down, he's up, he's down. Who knows? Where does he stop? Where does he go? Nobody
I hope he has
knows.
like a mileage plan or
For
something
Like,
or a
does
real.
he?
rewards program. He should.
Like, does he at this point have an apartment in Seattle and an apartment in Tacoma?
He sleeps in the clubhouse.
Like,
It's just like the Angels minor league story about how they horribly mistreated their minor league system, and then a
yeah,
lot of the guys were living in their cars.
it's
Fuck
like,
the Angels.
does the Tacoma Ferry have frequent sailor miles?
Coma Ferry. It
That's
should.
not how that works.
It's all just Justin Novak driving them around, like
Yeah,
on top of
yeah.
everything he does.
Oh
Oh God.
gosh.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, and to wrap up these two kind of segments, if Bryce Miller needs if we need to sit Big Tex down and take him out back for the season, I think Logan Evans is more than fine to handle that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
and then go get Andrew Heaney at the deadline in
the
case
Heen dog.
one of the others can't go. If Gilbert or Kirby explode, go get
Oh
yourself Andrew
Jesus.
Heaney, and then you're good to go.
The Heen
Yeah.
Call
dog.
it. Yeah, the Heen dog.
Let's get Heaney with it.
Okay, you need to calm down.
You need to leave.
You need to leave. Goodness. I want to talk about Cole Young.
Do
Let's talk
you?
about Cole
Let's
Young.
talk about Cole Young.
I do. I was kind of the what is that whistling noise?
Oh, that
Um,
I have a bird clock. Sorry.
Oh, neat. Okay, is your cat learning to whistle? Because that's pretty
It's
remarkable.
it's 9 o'clock. We're listening to the call of the Northern Cardinal.
Wow, there you go. Mother, sorry, I almost said a bad word.
Mother trucker.
Motherfuck. Um, I was of the thought of kind of just leaving him alone and letting the cake grow, letting it bake. We called him up, and I don't necessarily blame him. Well, and then people were upset because I sent Leo Rivas down. I love Leo Rivas. Professional pain in the ass. Okay, great guy.
Hmm.
I understand it though, because as you know, Jerry Dipoto teams are very horny for their guys who can play all sorts of positions. So they weren't going to send Mastrobuoni down because he could play in the outfield. And, you know, they're not going to DFA Solano. And people are like, why? What? Because they gave him a good amount of money. And they, in case you don't understand it, they don't like to admit mistakes here,
That's so real.
right?
What? No
I mean,
way.
let's have a Colton Wong. Like, I love Colton Wong, but like, right? We can go down the list. People are like, why haven't? I'm like, you know this, right? You've seen one of them also is still on the team, and Mitch Garver.
Mm.
I love Mitch. He's a great
I know.
human being. The baseball gods beat him with clubs every single day. Like that Saturday game, he had a few clutch situations. I really, really wanted him to come through. What's also fascinating, Luke Arkins, great follow on social. Um, put out like guys like strike three, final strike of the strikeout, the third strike looking. Mitch Garver, like 40% of his strikeouts, the third strike is looking. Like
God.
that's fascinating. And it's like 14% higher than the next. I think Solano is, which not surprising. But also, yeah, fuck that Mark James guy. Like, what the fuck was that all about? Um, I don't know. I don't want to get into Garver Solano talk because that's just all garbage. We all know the issues there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Fair.
yeah, man. I mean, it's interesting. Obviously, I think a lot of the level-headed people aren't expecting him to be the greatest player in the world getting called up here, but he's been fun to have up here. I mean, it seemed like he did get more comfortable through his debut, right? For first pitch he saw in his first plate appearance, he's swinging. I'm like, all right, dude, let it rip. Uh, um, he got the walk later in the game. He singled in the ninth. I said,
Yeah.
"Hey, look at this!" And then, I mean, somewhat carbon copy of his walk off in Tacoma 2 days before with the fielder's choice. I think he went over today. I don't have my score sheet somewhere. Um, I don't know. It's game two. Um, yeah. Any thoughts on Cole Young? What you've seen from him? Your thoughts on him? It is funny to me for if you're Perry Hill, your infield right now is Ben Williamson, who he loves, J.P. Crawford, who he loves. Cole Young, I'm sure he already likes him. And then there's a tank at first base and Rowdy Tellez. So
That's the boy. That's the guy, though.
big boy who almost squished Cole Young, by the way, after his walk. And yes, Brittany pointed this out. It was very funny to see Tellez. Tellez has been kind of that guy with Rayleigh hurt. I'm like, yeah, last thing we need is Luke Rayleigh to pick someone up and fuck up his oblique even more.
Luke Rayleigh
So,
too. There's
so
a
Cole
set.
Young's thoughts.
Good for him. That's my biggest thought.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Happy for Big Dog.
he's
I've got no big Cole Young thoughts. I haven't seen too much Cole Young yet. Um,
full for today. Yeah.
yeah. I just hoping for the best. I mean, we'll see. I'm a little bit hesitant because like hitting major league spin is so difficult. Um, I don't want to get too like excited. I'm glad he got a hit last night. I'm glad he got the walk off last night. Or to be clear, Saturday night for you watchers and listeners. But I don't have anything too big like positive or negative yet. Happy for the kid. Let the kid play.
Let the kid play.
Let the kid play. Hey, it's a Cole Young. We need more Italians on
Yeah.
the team. I miss when we had Italians.
I don't think there's really too hot of a take to have with that. He's not gonna be your savior.
Yeah.
Um, the question is, can he maintain his high contact approach at the major league level? And then can he adjust once pitchers get some tape on him and adjust to him? Like we're seeing Ben slowly, I think, pitchers figured him out. They got some footage on him, and Ben
Yep.
really struggled. He's really been struggling, and his past couple at bats have been better. Is he able to keep making adjustments? It's going to be the same thing with Cole Young. It is. Prospects are going to go through this. Kids are going to go through this. So yeah, it's great. Do I think he's going to be up there with Julio and Cal in terms of his contributions to this lineup? No, I do not.
Certainly not this
So
year.
it's fine. I don't think it's a negatively like overly negative or overly positive thing. It's cool.
Yeah. It's cool, Young.
Yeah, there you go.
You mentioned Italians. I'm like, there's one in Tacoma, but I prefer he stay there.
Yeah.
Um, he's just kind of destined to do that. To the Ben Williamson point about kind of improving, he's hitting 320 over his last 7 games.
Yeah, he's had better at bats.
Nice.
His plate approach has looked better, I think. Do I think he could probably benefit from some time to like swim his way back up to the top after drowning in maybe AAA? Yeah, I think he could benefit from some time back down there. But you don't have a third baseman, so here we are.
Yeah, no, I want to make it. I don't disagree with Brittany on that. I really don't want to watch anybody else play third base right now.
Yeah.
Because sorry, I did find my score sheet.
Hey.
It's Mastroboni or Dylan Moore. Dylan Moore's fine. I don't think he's been the greatest of late, right?
Very high strikeout rate lately. I was
Miles
looking at that early.
Mastroboni,
Mm.
no. Just no.
He
So
started good, but yeah.
I mean, he made a great slide on the Cole Young walk-off,
He
but
did. Shout out to him there. He went straight into the base. He didn't try to do anything fancy. He had a
he
good
very
break.
much just needs to be your. I think we had this discussion about Luke Raley in spring training, Brittany. It was Luke Raley and Dylan Moore should be your first guys off the bench,
Yeah.
not starters consistently.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with that. Um, yeah, goodness. So we talked some injuries. Oh, I can rattle off a few other injury thoughts because there were a couple that were interesting, particularly Victor Robles. Um, do we have other thoughts on the Mariners from this past week?
Cal Raleigh's incredible.
I think after his
Yeah.
homer, yes, today I looked at Brett Adam and we shared a moment because God bless Brett Adam. But also, I looked over at Kate from Lookout Landing. I said, "You are running out of ways to describe what Cal Raleigh is doing."
Yo.
Like, um, he's become a better hitter, which is remarkable. He's stealing bases. I think the next base he steals ties him for ties and yeah, I think ties. I don't think he's tied with Dan Wilson yet. For most in a season by a Mariners catcher at 7. He already tied himself from last year with 6, and we're early into the year. I
Hmm.
remember one of the last few games this homestand, he stole a base, and then in the top of the next inning, he threw a guy out.
Yes. That was on Thursday. I was there.
Yes. So like,
He's doing it all.
And when he
oh,
stole the base, he induced like a throwing error and got the third as well.
how can he
Yeah.
run that fast with all that back there?
Catcher
I
speed.
just
Hey, man.
It's
Not
funnier
all
that Brittany
catchers
said
are
that.
slow.
Okay, because Brittany was stuck.
It's
It was
it's really
just
funny because catchers might not be slow, but Brittany's internet sure is.
Or I just didn't have
your
anything to
internet
contribute.
Your
couldn't handle
fury just
Cal
like
Raleigh.
overwhelmed your bandwidth.
Oh my God.
That sounds about right, honestly.
Yeah,
Shout out
man.
to Xfinity and Comcast.
It is so remarkable to think about what he's doing. He's leading base. Did Judge or Otani homer tonight? I don't
I
think
don't
so.
believe so.
They did not.
Broad watch. Um,
That's my guy, Kyle
to
Raleigh.
see him lead baseball right now in homers, he's improved as a hitter overall, if I'm not mistaken, right? He was hitting
That's
264 coming
correct.
into today, and he had the homer, obviously. He's obviously still leading this pitching staff. Like, and this is after he signed a pretty team friendly fucking extension,
Mm-hmm.
right? I
Yep.
mean, like, when do we build the statue? Um,
Tomorrow. Oh.
Sunkissed, when do we build the statue? Uh, yeah, that it's I've you've run out of words to describe how great he is. I was thinking this, I said, with the pitching staff, and ideally they stay healthy for this to happen, but Cal Raleigh will be mentioned hopefully in several Hall of Fame like speeches because Jesus Christ. It is well, and then that, and there were a few men in the section in front of the press box who every time he stepped up to the plate, they chanted MVP. And after the homer, I was like, hey, yeah, maybe they have a point because
If he if he stays on this pace, so if he's 200 points behind Judge and like a handful of OPS behind him, but he hits like, a couple more homers and still leads the pitching staff, I think he is more valuable just by virtue of being also the best defensive catcher in the league.
yeah, I don't think
Like,
that's a question. I mean,
yeah,
if we're going true, like, because MVP awards in sports have generally become best player, right? Not necessarily
yes,
actual best value. If
yes,
we're going by definition, it's tell me someone who does more.
exactly.
I'd be
Yeah.
happy to listen because I forget,
Who causes their team to win more than Cal
right?
Raleigh?
Take him. This is you don't want to think about this. Take him off of this team right now.
No, thank you.
Yeah, like bring in a keep Tom Murphy. I love Tom Murphy.
Oh man. Oh man.
You
That's
think
a
about
Yeah,
it.
name
wait.
I've not heard in a long time.
Did
I
I
don't like
butcher
this
his name?
hypothetical.
Yeah, right. I mean, is it Tom? Oh, it is Tom Murphy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've forgotten him so much that I like saying his name
Yeah,
felt
no, it's
wrong.
Tom Murphy.
Yeah, no,
Luis
you're right. You're
Torrens.
it's just yeah,
God, remember
Wait,
that three-way catcher battle in 22?
I
And how
do.
they sent Cal down for a little bit?
He
And
needed
Murphy
it.
and Torrens won for a minute?
He needed it.
Remember
Hey, shout out
Omar
Trent. He's having a
Narvaez?
good year in New York.
Yeah. He throws a
Yeah,
nasty slider when he's trying to throw somebody out.
he does. He does. Um, yeah, I will say I encourage fans to remember that the catching position is brutal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, if he keeps catching this much, it's just physically impossible for him to maintain this this type of heater. Catchers get worn down and broken down. Um, I don't know if it comes in August, September, but there's inevitably going to be a stretch of time in which he cools off a little bit. And that's when you need the rest of your team to, hey, be like, all right, man, thanks for carrying us to September. We got it from here.
Yeah. Whatever happens to
It's
his left thumb.
oh Jesus. It's gonna
Makes me so nervous. Him
Yeah.
catching
it's
Matt Brash again makes me so nervous about his thumb.
Yeah.
it's the her hands look like this and it's Cal Raleigh's like mangled fingers.
Just,
So his head and it's Matt Brash's
I do this every single time he catches one of those sliders. I'm just like, oh God, ow.
gonna have like offensive lineman hands by the end of
Yeah.
his career.
Yeah.
Well that invites the question. Oh, well, fuck. Because Mitch Garver's not a bad like catcher
He's
of
fine.
the baseball.
It's fine.
Fine. But with how detrimental he has been over at the plate for the past 2 years, well, a season and a half, sure. You know,
He's been fine.
when do you ever have a Harry Ford conversation? I mean, that would also require though them admitting they were wrong on Mitch Garver, and
And
that
eating his
also
contract. You think they're going to
yes,
eat both Mitch's
no,
contracts?
No.
no.
If Garver like
Mitch Witch,
explodes, like if he just like spontaneously combusts in a fireball in the clubhouse one day,
Right.
I hope
they'll
not. I
bring
want to
up
be around
Ford.
that.
But like otherwise, does Ford do much better at the major league level than Mitch Garver?
That's
Such
true.
a good question, Jake. I'm so glad you asked that because I posed that question today and I got heat for it.
It's like
Online?
Huh?
Online?
No, no,
on the
no.
Oh,
website
okay.
formerly
In
known as Twitter.
in the real world.
Oh, I've heard things about that. Yeah.
Who would push back on that? I mean,
It's yeah, it has he been a massive disappointment? primarily because of the contract we gave him, absolutely. If you were paying him a couple $1 million to do what he's doing, okay,
Yeah.
whatever. Um, you don't know. And maybe Harry Ford comes up and he's freaking fantastic, but what's he gonna do? Catch twice a week at the most?
That's
That's not good for
more
him.
than the most, I feel like, because Cal would
And
not do
and then
Yeah.
he
that by choice.
DHs the other days, and Polanco does what?
Back to
Explode.
second base.
It's a poorly constructed
No.
roster. Like, I understand that
Yeah.
they're in this, they put themselves in this position, but like they're just, even if you DFA Garver, it's not a great situation for Harry Ford. And if they had been thinking about trading him, which I strongly think they have thought about trading him, it
Oh yeah.
completely tanks his value to call him up to the big leagues,
Mm.
risk him doing poorly, and
Yeah.
then not getting reps in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's been tearing the fuck out of the baseball in Tacoma. That ball,
He
did you see
is
the
a
ball he hit
really,
over? He
Yeah.
hit it into the parking lot.
I know, he's a
Just
really good trade piece right now.
whoa.
He's like, hold on.
Oh, stop the music.
Yeah.
I was with you all the way, but whoa, hold on there. How much longer does Garver have on his contract?
This is it.
This
This
year,
is it? Yeah.
ride it
Let him
out.
write it out.
For
Give
as
me
bad
Harry
as he's
next year.
been, it's still better than Sebi Zavala. I mean, Mariners.
Nightmare.
Me watching anybody but Cal Raleigh this year, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. That's yeah, God, that's an exercise. You want to scare the fuck out of somebody? Envision the 2025 Seattle Mariners without Caleb John Raleigh.
Envision
Ooh.
them with
Yeah.
scary ass Tom Murphy.
What a
Remember
mess.
those faces he used to make?
hmm
Love Tom.
He
He
was
was
scary
great.
with his faces. He was a very nice guy to talk to. Very
He
nice.
was. But and every
Um,
time they took a photo of him like excited, like after a walk up or something, he
it's
looked
like
like
he
he
eats
was
people.
possessed by Beelzebub. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I guess that can lead me to a few different of the injury things. Robles will not
Who
be
else has been
back
possessed
until
by
like
Beelzebub?
September.
Yeah, we're not, I don't think
Uh,
we'll see him again this year.
um,
He's gonna hit a home run in the postseason though.
yeah, he's gonna take. So, who was it? I think Adam
Sure.
Jude posed the thing. He was like, "Hey, a Mariners Twins playoff series could be fun." I said, "Shut up. I don't need to see the narratives there.
I would
Shut up.
explode.
They're so annoying to play.
My
Like,
heart would give out.
fuck off." Um, Fun. You say fun. I say torture. What is it? The meme I've seen lately is white boy, can you take me to Funky Town? No, Torture City. Oh man.
Oh man, I
Um.
wanted Funky Town.
Oh no. Um. Victor Robles. Yeah. So people were confused. I think it might have. He did admit there might have been some miscommunication. Um. He said the 12-week diagnosis that Victor got when they IL'd him, right after his shoulder exploded in San Francisco because of that stupid fucking net. Um, the 6 weeks was to let it heal, right? Let it heal properly, make sure it doesn't move. The other 6 weeks is to strengthen up. And there was this timeline of July. Um, then he talked to us, yeah, at the beginning of this homestand. Um, and he said we probably won't see him until September, and that like July and August he'll still like be getting that shoulder strength, which sure, it's been sitting in a sling for however long, and he hasn't been doing anything baseball activity besides sitting in the clubhouse in the dugout with a moose on his shoulder. Must be
He
a very
loves to do
heavy
that.
moose. Um, just fascinating to me that yeah, you've basically lost the guy for the year. He played what, the first three series? Um,
Yeah, we got like
extremely
what
tough.
8 games with that dream outfield that we were hyping up all season.
hmm All the dyed hair they had. I didn't even get to dye 'em. Oh my hit. Um, I mean, it makes a little bit. I saw that look, Brittany. Don't look at me like that. Um, I mean, it makes much more sense with having Leote here, right? And like Luke, that'll be fine when he gets back. Um, oh yeah, he came back from being shunned down to Arizona. They had him rehabbing in Arizona, which terrifying. Um, he's been swinging the bat lately. He's been taking batting practice. Likely we'll have a rehab assignment on Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday with
Really?
Tacoma. Yes, that's what Hollander said, and then work his way back up. They didn't have an exact date on that. But that would be nice to have him back because, I mean, if you need him to cover first base, but from what I understand, he doesn't necessarily like playing first base. So just let him, it's a big, gentle man. Let him roam in the outfield.
Yeah, God.
Make sure him and Julio communicate so one of those giant human beings doesn't crush each other. Yeah, that's it for your outfield. Oh, I guess the only because I already mentioned the relievers. Poor Felny and Celestin was dealing with dizziness and vertigo symptoms, which was terrifying. He's back now, he's better, but still not great for him to feel dizzy. And they're like, you need to go to the doctor. Um,
Do we have a Durangelo Sanja update?
no. I mean,
Okay.
did you see the thing about him having soreness in his right arm?
Well, yeah, they pulled him from the game, right? In the third inning.
I thought you meant more than him just being pulled.
No, I just
Um,
didn't know if he had to get imaging done or anything.
No, not that I'm aware of. And unfortunately, oh, someone asked about I think not Teddy McGraw. Oh, Taylor Dollard.
Hmm.
I was like, well, I'll ask next time we talk to him, which isn't next till next homestand. So, I mean, if he doesn't pop up, the next thing we'd probably get, unless one of the bigwigs says something, and bigwigs, I mean Jude Booth now, because Divish is somewhere in Montana. Um, like unless they say something, oh, well, they took him out as a precaution. I guess that's fine. Um, yeah, is next homestand because that's when we get to talk to Hollander. Otherwise, he's in his booth with
Yeah.
Jerry. So that's what mid-June is when they're back. Oh God. Oh, sorry, I went to July. Oops. The 13th. Oh yeah, they go down
Yeah,
to
it's
play the
quick.
Anaheim Angels. Okay, so it's not the worst thing in the world, but yeah, we wouldn't know until then if he doesn't show up in like
Yeah.
right. So yeah, normally we hit a time frame that ends in 9 minutes. Brittany, we tracking good.
Sure. Why
Yeah.
not?
Anything else on that? I mean, we hit what? Kind of hit your bullpen, hit your two broken. I mean, we've referred to them as cheese. Right now, I mean, like the cheese has been burnt and ripped apart and melted. The cheese nicknames.
God, that's right.
Um, yeah, remember that? Um,
Yeah. You still got
uh,
Parmesan cheese, which arguably is the best of all the cheeses.
it's pretty good. I do like pepper jack, but they haven't named anybody that yet. So, talking about your outfield, fuck is wrong with Randy? He hit a walk off today, sure, but his
Mm,
plate appearances lately, his numbers lately have been bad, and some of his strikeouts are just. He had one earlier in the game. There's three ugly swings, right? I mean, I understand part of that is Randy, like that's part
yeah.
of what makes him Randy Arozarena, but his number, I mean, he had been horrid for a good amount of the season.
I think he had a
Um,
100 WRC plus for the month of May.
really?
So
Oh
that's,
yeah, his last 15 games he's hit 180. Oh, with 23 strikeouts. Oh,
yeah, it's not great.
leaf art. Yeah,
Not
I don't
great.
know. You guys see anything on Randy? But I mean, it felt great for him. I didn't feel super great when he came to the plate in the ninth. They said, "Oh, Cal struck out. We're fucked." And Kate goes, "I am full belief in Rowdy Tellez to hit a 320-foot flyout to get Julio home." It's like, sure. Um, so that's where we were before Randy did walk it off. I thought it might have been funny for the bit for it to get back to Cole Young, but um,
Here's my
anything?
question. Where's
Mm,
Edgar been? Because if he hasn't been around,
he's
then
around.
I'm all right.
You
I
say
was
again?
hoping there was an easy answer there.
Mm.
He is around. I almost ran into him in the dugout the other day when we were waiting for Dan.
He didn't go on the last road trip, so that's all I'm saying.
Well, that's part of his thing, right?
I
Is he's got
know.
like a hybrid thing.
I know. But he was on the road trip before that when they were
Yes.
shelling the ball.
Yeah. So I don't know. Well, and that was something I was thinking about because I also hadn't seen Sightser around a while. I've been in and out of the ballpark this homestand. There's been a lot going on. Storm home games, Sounders home games. I haven't seen Sightser for a while. I did see him recently, and I was wondering. It made me think, right? Because so often during the Mariners' existence, semi recently, right, past decade or so, there's so much heat on the hitting coaches, and I'm like, hey,
Oh,
you two. Like it's about how you adjust with these guys and you fix them throughout the year, right? So it'll be
hitting coaches are
fascinating.
overrated. I firmly believe that. They really are.
Sure.
But
Well, and what?
also, I think his voice is so respected that if
Oh
he was
yeah,
just like, hey, man, like, stop swinging out of your ass when a base hit is fine, that
I
could
want to
go a
hear
long
Edgar say
ways.
that. Just for
Me
comedic
too.
purposes, I would like for him to say that.
Me too. Boy, would I
Randy.
love that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, with a guy like him, yeah, and well, especially with your Latin players, right? I mean, it's like how many
Mhm.
of them, and not to be this way, but how many of us see a white guy and be like, ah, fuck that. Like, I don't give a fuck. This guy doesn't relate to me.
Yeah, it does.
I don't
It
know.
does a lot.
Yeah. So, but you go back to the hitting coaches being overrated thing. Divish makes this point out. He made this point a lot last year. He says, one, you can prepare and learn and look at film all you want. Once you get into the batter's box, it is up for you to apply all of that.
100%.
The hitting coach Edgar's not sitting there in the batter's box with you. Oh, do not swing at that. Like, yeah, you drive this to left field. No, like, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a fair point. Jake, you've been giving the furrowed look face in the corner. Do you have anything before we close out?
I'm not looking forward to the next couple series. Uh,
Mm,
Orioles,
no?
okay, Orioles, that's interesting.
Orioles are a
The
bad baseball team.
shit show of
Oh
the
my
You
God,
Baltimore.
better.
they're bad again. I forgot.
They're a
Yes.
bad baseball
They
team.
decided
Yes.
I've watched a few Orioles games over the last week, and they are atrocious.
And
So
then we get to play the Angels, who are they frauds again?
fraud
Yes, they
watch,
are.
fraud
Okay.
watch.
correct.
I've been paying attention to the
Oh my
Angels.
God.
They're
I
Adley
better.
hate
Rutschman
watch
is
the Angels every night.
oh my God. Adley Rutschman sucks. What the
He's been bad.
He's on my
He's hitting
fantasy
12
team.
this year.
He's been
He's got
bad. Yeah.
5 homers. Cal Raleigh,
5?
Chad Cal Raleigh looks at Adley Rutschman. Soy boy, Adley Rutschman. He's hitting 130 over the last 7 games. This is your catcher of the future. Fuck that.
Point
Put Cal
4 R
Raleigh on the
War,
WBC roster right
85
now.
OPS plus.
Make Cal Raleigh an American WBC player right now, and you will be reincarnated as a lotus flower.
He's gonna break his thumb on the WBC, and you know it.
Jesus.
Jacob.
No,
Wow, you got
listen.
full named.
I did just get Jacobed. I love the WBC, and I hate the discourse about injuries, but
Sure.
it's scary.
It is scary. I mean, look at obviously, was it Drew Smiley?
Foggy arm.
Soggy arm. And
Are
then
you thinking of
Yeah.
former
Diaz
Mariner
though?
Edwin Diaz,
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
brother who got acquired by the fucking Dodgers for nothing. Yeah,
Why
I mean
not?
Orioles, fraud watch Angels in Anaheim and that stupid rock formation they have outside. And then the D-backs who have been stinking poopy lately. Gino's
Corbin
gonna hit five.
Burns exited today with a
That's
elbow
right.
injury, and their bullpen sucks. So if you can just score more runs than them, which usually is the formula.
As soon as you said that, Brittany, I was like, it sounds like a John Madden quote.
Listen,
If you score more points than the other team,
John
I'm
Madden.
tired.
John Madden
Football.
football.
It is past my
Football.
bedtime.
Ayu.
Obviously, we have a show to. Huh?
It's past sunset. Brittany sundowning.
Yes, you get it. See, you get it.
Donovan Solano sundowning?
Whatever you do, by the way, don't look at Jorge Polanco's monthly splits.
Oh, it's so bad.
Too late.
It's so sad. It's depressing.
Oops, I typed Jorge Poa. That's not.
Jorge Polanco.
Jorge, no longer the greatest hitter
The
of all
same
time.
amount of at bats. It's brutal. He just removed an order of magnitude from his WRC plus in the month
Yeah.
of May.
Oh,
249 in March, April, 23 in May.
oh my God.
Worst on the team by
He
a
was
landslide too.
1.2ing it OPS wise in fucking April.
Yeah.
And now he's 400 OPSing it.
Yeah.
His strikeout rate is still relatively low though, so
Yeah.
Walk rate went up. What
House.
happened? What's going on?
Yeah.
What's Lobot? What's going on with that guy?
Go into Jorge. Hey, stuck. Why? Me to Tommy LaSella, AJ Pollock.
Oh God, AJ Parr.
Who the Giants took off your hands, by the way, for no reason.
Giants
obviously we have
that.
show to do before that. Hey, Robbie Ray's 7-0, or was. I think he might be better now. Obviously we have a show to do before that. How many homers does Gino hit in that Diamondback series?
Against us?
Yes.
2.
Is it a 3-game or 4-game set?
3.
3.
1 most likely, but 2.
3.
So we've got bets
he
of
hits them in
3 and 2.
bunches. He
That's
hits them in
true.
bunches, and he hit one today, and he hit one a couple days ago. I
Gino,
bet he hits 3.
stop. I'll have to
Right.
cool down before the Anaheim series. Oh yeah, Mike Trout's back too.
Oh my God, is he?
Yes.
Apparently.
That's scary. Oh no. It's in Anaheim. We'll be fine.
It's not in Seattle. Yeah. We're fine.
Soy boy Mike Trout in Anaheim. All right. Well, until we see you next week for the show that is called Mariner Mondays. It has been called that and didn't have a beef about it and then just stop uploading Mariners videos. Don't fuck with me. Okay?
I don't know who you're subtweeting right now. Subpotting? Subcatting? Subcasting?
Subcasting.
Subcasting. Subcatting. Where's your cat? We'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves. Be well. Do whatever you can to make today a very talkies day.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, how about those M's?
Oh, I'm excited.
I know. Where are you going to watch all those away games, though?
Away games. Huh. I was thinking of coming here since, after all, Rough and Tumble is the home of Circling Seattle Sports.
I love that idea. Hope to see y'all here.